Hello and good afternoon, guys. Radio Zindagi पर आप पहुंचे हैं आप 1550 AM is the frequency and the show we are starting is the Saket Bhatia Astrology Show. And पिछले कई वीक से सुन रहे हैं आप डॉक्टर साकेत भाटिया को and those who have heard our show, they know कि बहुत सारी myth busting होती है यहाँ पर, बहुत सारे questions के आंसर दिए जाते हैं और उसी के साथ कोशिश की जाती है कि आपको एस्ट्रोलॉजी की थोड़ी समझ मिले और आप खुद उसे समझ के आगे बढ़ पाएं. एंड इफ यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चन, ऑब्वियसली द एक्सपर्ट इज राइट हियर, डॉक्टर साकेत भाटिया, जो हमारे साथ लाइव है रेडियो जिंदगी पे एंड यू लिसन टू हिम एवरी ट्यूसडे बिटवीन 4 to 5 PM. He has a PhD in electrical engineering and a PhD in astrology. So इस शो में हम ज्यादा कुछ इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग का नहीं करने वाले हैं. दिस इज ऑल अबाउट एस्ट्रोलॉजी एंड न्यूमरोलॉजी एंड as he is also founder and CEO of 2 companies in the Bay Area. So a man with lot of feathers in his hat. Contact कर सकते हैं आप डॉक्टर साकेत भाटिया को for all your astrological needs या numerology से जुड़ा कोई भी question है आपका, then he's the right person for you. He's also a senior board member of International Association of Vedic Astrology and Numerology and contributing author at the International Jyotish Journal. 25 years से ज़्यादा का experience है इन्हें. बहुत सारे satisfied clients around the globe can definitely vouch for him. So contact कीजिए directly by calling him 408-639-5300. Do visit his website which is by his first and last name saketbhatia.com. और अगर आप कोई क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहते हैं info@saketbhatia.com पे लिख भेजिए. फेसबुक पे फॉलो कर सकते हैं आप साकेत भाटिया एस्ट्रोलॉजी न्यूमरोलॉजी के नाम से. द पेज इज देयर. यू कैन फॉलो द पेज फॉर ऑल द अपडेट्स. And if you have any quick question, we will be opening the studio lines in just about like 10 minutes. Do call us 510-770-1550. Let's start our today's show. And आज कुछ बहुत ही interesting topic लेकर आए हैं आप. Hello and welcome.
How are you, Vedika?
Wonderful.
It's always nice to come here on a Tuesday. You get a chance to meet you and listeners of Radio Zindagi. You know, warm welcome to all of you. I'm excited to do this show. This is my 34th show.
Wow.
We've been counting कैसे हम shows कर रहे हैं.
We don't count good things.
But they end sometimes, na?
No, definitely we don't want that too. And the pleasure is all ours. I'm sure listeners are as excited as you are to bring this show.
So, last week का जो हमने show किया था, हमने भवत भवम की बात की थी. And I spoke about Karak briefly. Remember I said जब picture बनती है, you have to have a producer.
Yes.
Same way Karak is a producer.
जी.
So we need to have Karak because अगर Karak strong हो तो item can be produced in your life, right? So we got some emails from listeners. When I say some, I mean हमें सब मिलके 6 email आए थे.
जी.
Can you explain some more concepts of Karak? What is Karak? How does Karak work? और Karak में एक होता है Karak Bhava Nash. Karak destroys the house it sits in. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to many people, right?
Right.
Now we'll try to explain why it does it and why it's logical. तो उसके बारे में बात करेंगे, लेकिन इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज ये है कि कारक, हाउस लॉर्ड और हाउस, ये 3 चीजें इंपॉर्टेंट होती है, राइट? कारक तो प्रोड्यूसर है, हाउस लॉर्ड मतलब द वन हु सेज हाउ यू विल एंजॉय द थिंग्स, एंड हाउस इज यू नो वो चीज कैसे बढ़ेगी आपकी लाइफ में. अगर ये तीनों अच्छी हैं, यू आर गोइंग टू एंजॉय. अगर इनमें से कुछ भी खराब है, then you will have a hard time. You'll struggle with it.
Right.
See, if Karak is weak, that doesn't mean you're not going to have kids. If Karak is weak, doesn't mean you're not going to be intelligent. Weak, strong is all relative. It's based on the chart, right? So, अगर आपका house lord weak है, right? If the house lord is weak, then you can still have certain things in your life अगर अच्छे planets की aspect जा रही है उस पे. But इतना जितनी enjoyment करनी थी वो नहीं मिलेगी आपको. For example, some people have a house, but they constantly complain हमारा घर छोटा है. It's that Karak effect, that house lord effect that's not letting them enjoy it, right? So there are ways जिसमें cancel हो जाते हैं positive effects. People don't appreciate what they have in life. Okay? Next is अगर घर itself house lord weak हो तो और problem हो जाती है, right? And finally interpretation जब हम कहते हैं, one of the things I like to tell, because you know lots of people who call on this show have knowledge of astrology.
Right.
They have a basic fundamental background. तो उन्हें कहना चाहते हैं कि we are going to discuss Karak Bhava Nash today, which means how Karak destroys a house. So don't make random quick judgments when you see planet like Jupiter placed in the 5th and say इनका बच्चा नहीं हो सकता. Or if you see Saturn in 8th and say इनकी तो बहुत लंबी लाइफ है. Or if you see Sun in the first house, ये तो बहुत weak है, इनकी health खराब रहेगी. Don't make those quick judgments. There are many more factors, but that is the start. That's what I want to say. Okay, debilitated ruler जो होते हैं, they are planets that are extremely weak. Remember, debilitation की भी degree होती है. So Jupiter is debilitated in Capricorn. It is exalted in Cancer. But that's a certain degree. अगर planet उस degree पे बैठा है तो ही exalted होता है. If he's sitting in a certain degree, then he's debilitated. But if he's not, he's either going towards becoming weaker or moving away from becoming stronger. Something like that. तो ये जो debilitated planets है, they typically cause challenges with relations. And debilitated जो होता है, they can also impact your health.
Okay.
So if I see debilitated Jupiter, your health might be at stake. Your luck might be compromised. If your Mercury is debilitated, your sense of doing business might be compromised. Your speech might be compromised. Mars is your ability to take action. Those are things that can be compromised. Combustion is different. Combustion is when a planet is so close to the sun कि when you look up in the sky आपको दिखता भी नहीं. तो उसका effect कहाँ से आएगा आपकी life में? Correct?
Okay.
Combustion typically is serious अगर sun difficult घर का lord होता है, like 6th, 8th, 12th. If sun itself is very strong, then don't worry so much about combustion. And our analysis in the association shows combustion always impacts relationships, nothing more than that.
Okay.
Combust lord of the first house will impact your relationship with yourself. You will always be critical. Combust lord of fourth mother के साथ relationship का problem होता है. But you've seen, right? जिसके problem होते हैं, they get better over time.
Yeah.
Why? दशा आ जाती है अच्छी. So in astrology, it's always about taking advantage of the dasha, which is what I'll discuss next. And finally, we have something called retrograde planets. Retrograde means moving backwards, appearing to be moving backwards.
Yeah.
But at some point, वो सीधा तो जाएगा. So it's taken longer for him to reach that point क्योंकि पीछे चला गया. So simply put, retrograde is causing delay.
Delays.
One way of analyzing this is अगर आपका fifth lord retrograde है, you might have delay in having children. अगर आपका 10th lord retrograde है, जो fame चाहिए career में वो delay हो जाएगी. Key word I'm using is delay. Not denial.
जी.
बहुत फर्क होता है. तो astrology में there are many remedies you can use, right? मंत्र, यंत्र, gemstones, पूजा, donations, charity, काफी कुछ होते हैं. Another thing is जब दशा आती है, take advantage of it. And third is, just getting guidance from a good astrologer, which brings me to my next point. Okay? And that is, what are we chasing in life? ये important है. हर एक इंसान यहाँ पर, it doesn't matter who he is, they're chasing something. You could be chasing money. You could be chasing popularity, fame. You could be wanting a house. You could be wanting a better car. You could be wanting a partner. You could be wanting somebody else's partner. I mean, you understand life में सबको कुछ ना कुछ चाहिए. And everybody is running. Question, will you get what you want?
If they are trying, maybe they can.
Is it in your destiny to get it? That's the key question.
That's where astrological studies comes in.
वही हम कह रहे हैं कि आपको हर एक चीज के पीछे तो आप भाग नहीं सकते. There are people who I know who've been trying to get a better job, a better promotion or something different in the company. I know people, I want to be VP at a company. Why? I like the title. मुझे VP बनना है. Okay. 5 साल हो गए, 6 साल हो गए, अब तक VP नहीं बने. What happens after 10 years? अभी भी VP बनना है. And then they get disappointed. Right. That's all they focus on. That's all they think about. And I tell them, stop. While you've been focusing on that, you've lost out on so many other things that you shouldn't have lost out on. ये जो chase है, ये कभी खत्म नहीं होगी आपकी life में. You have to set your priorities right. When you have a family, focus on that. When you're sick, focus on your health. And run after things that you can get in life. Achievable target set कीजिए. I'm not saying कि don't run after money, but अगर पैसे आपकी life में इतना लिखा है, तो be happy with what you have. What we are trying to tell you is guiding you to fulfillment and happiness.
So do people come to you like asking that I want to be the VP? लिखा है कि नहीं लिखा है मेरे भाग्य में?
I mean, हमारे शो पे कितने कॉल्स आते हैं, आई वॉन्ट टू गेट प्रमोशन, विल आई गेट अ प्रमोशन? बट प्रमोशन वाई? जब कुंडली दिखा रही है यू शुड बी स्टार्टिंग योर बिजनेस, या बिजनेस 5 साल में स्टार्ट होगा, वाई नॉट थिंक अबाउट दैट नाउ?
Right.
You know, there's a very good book that was written. It said if you want to be something in life, you start imagining you're already that person.
Manifesting.
Then you start living that life. तो वही हम कह रहे हैं कि जो आपको करना है आगे जाके, start preparing for it today and come to an astrologer, or not me, anybody else who you think is qualified, and go to them, get proper direction in life. Right?
Absolutely. And with that, I would like to remind all the listeners, the Saket Bhatia Astrology Show is on. Dr. Saket Bhatia is live with us. और आप सुन रहे हैं उन्हें रेडियो जिंदगी पे. Dr. Saket Bhatia, who has a PhD in astrology and who is also a professional numerologist. So if you have any question either in astrology or numerology, this is your time. आप कॉल कर सकते हैं. Now the studio lines are open. 510-770-1550. Once again, the studio line number is 510-770-1550. If you have any question, you can call us right now. Whenever you are asking a question, astrology related question, be ready with your date, time and place of birth. And if you would like to call Dr. Saket Bhatia after the show directly, then his direct number is 408-639-5300. Or unki website, which is the best source of all the information, is saketbhatia.com. So, आज जब मैं टॉपिक देख रही थी and the heading was too much of a good thing. So can there be a too much of good things? Like good things तो हमें abundance में चाहिए.
Water is supposed to be good for your body,
Yeah.
but you can't drink too much.
Too much of
Kidney
what?
की problem हो जाती है.
Right.
Sugar is always tasty. You can't have too much.
Yes, absolutely.
If you want to understand too much of a good thing, today's topic is Karak Bhava Nash. Karak is the significator. जो मूवी प्रोड्यूसर होता है वो. Why is having a big rich producer too much of a problem? When you're making a movie, the producer says, here is the money. Go make a movie. Now your producer says, I'm giving you more money and more and more. Chances are आपकी पिक्चर नहीं खत्म होगी 5-6 साल. You'll switch more actors, more stories. Why? Because you're overloaded with something that you shouldn't have been overloaded with. तो कारक भवा नाश में क्या होता है? I spoke to very famous Indian astrologer Chirag Modi over the weekend. Okay, very well-known source, inspirational, हमारे association के member, and I said, I want to talk about Karak Bhava Nash. So let's understand what your concept also is. And he says he has more experience than me, significantly more. And उन्होंने कहा था कि overloading is a problem. I'll explain why. Let's say you have Jupiter in the 5th. इसका ये मतलब नहीं आपके बच्चे नहीं होंगे, but that Jupiter will expand and make you want more from your kids than they naturally can give you. They will push them to boundaries that you don't need to push them to.
Okay.
Another example of this is Sun. Sun in the first house. Sun is what? Confidence, leadership. First house is you. अगर Sun first house में बैठ गया, it shows confidence, leadership. But अगर Sun बहुत ही strong है कुंडली में, and Sun जो first house का कारक है, it now makes you overconfident. So think of Karak as over. वो जहां बैठ जाए overdo कर लेता है. So we're going to get more into this. But that doesn't mean कि Karak is necessarily going to be bad. Because देता है ना. You have to learn your limits.
How to manage that over.
अगर Karak अपने ही घर में बैठा हो, so Jupiter owns Sagittarius and Jupiter owns Pisces.
That's not good आपने कहा था.
लेकिन अगर अपने ही घर में बैठता है, it becomes very strong. But अगर पांचवे या घर का कारक हो, now he is going to make sure that you treat your kids very rigidly, make sure you want them to be the people you are. But on the positive side, it will increase your intelligence, it will increase your advice that you give people, knowledge of stock market, speculation, but hurts the living organism. ये problem है. कारक बढ़ाता है. अगर मर्क्यूरी आपके सेकंड घर में बैठ जाए, वी नो इट इज बिजनेस, ट्रेड, स्पीच, बहुत अच्छा जाएगा. बट इट कुड हर्ट द वे यू स्पीक इट. यू मे स्टैमर समटाइम्स. सो कारक कैन डू दिस. देयर आर 3 एक्सेप्शंस टू द कारक रूल जो हम डिस्क्राइब करेंगे. बट अगर ये कारक डिबिलिटेटेड होता है, मीन्स वेरी वीक, देन ही कांट हर्ट योर किड्स.
Right.
बट ही मे नॉट गिव यू किड्स.
Oh, okay. So he can hurt you in some way.
काफी रूल्स होते हैं, हम समझाएंगे कारक भावा नाश होता क्या है,
जी।
हाउ टू अवॉइड इट, व्हाट इज द राइट एनालिसिस, व्हाट इज द राइट प्लेसमेंट, ये देखते हैं हम
तो
आज
हम
के शो
आगे
में.
बढ़ते हैं विद कारक भवन नाश टॉपिक के साथ आज हमारे. बट आपका अगर कोई भी क्वेश्चन है नॉट रिगार्डिंग दिस टॉपिक, एनीथिंग यू हैव टू आस्क, बी इट अबाउट योर जॉब, अबाउट योर फैमिली, किड्स, एनीथिंग कम्स टू योर माइंड, डू कॉल अस 510-770-1550. दैट्स द स्टूडियो लाइन नंबर. सो एज यू सेड कि अपने घर में बुरा होता है कारक. We also talked about this last
For
week.
only for the organism that is living.
Living, yeah.
Yes.
So what about the other houses?
Other houses, हर एक हाउस कुछ ना कुछ represent करता है.
Hmm.
So for example, first house का कारक is sun. It represents you, your body, your health, your appearance, yourself and your personality. अगर कारक first house में बैठ जाता है, he tends to weaken some of these aspects. He may weaken your bones, he may हेयर लॉस जो होता है टिपिकली सन इन द फर्स्ट हाउस से हो जाता है लोगों को, वीक बोन्स, वीक टीथ, बिकॉज सन फर्स्ट हाउस में बैठा है. इट विल हर्ट यू वन वे और द अदर. ईगो, सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस, सन इन द फर्स्ट हाउस. सेकेंड हाउस का कारक कौन था? 3 थे. जुपिटर विच represents wealth, Mercury which represents business, Moon which represents your face. Correct? अगर Mercury बैठ जाए, speech might go haywire if there is no good aspect. Jupiter बैठ जाए तो wealth देगा. There's nothing else Jupiter can destroy there. तो Jupiter के लिए second house is a very good placement. Correct? Now Moon is face.
Yeah.
So if Moon is sitting there, you might think you're actually good looking, but you'll never be happy with your face. आपको हमेशा लगेगा कि I am not that pretty, I am not that happy. That is the side effect it has. Too much of a good thing. Third house में it is Mars. And let's say Venus. Why Mars? Because Mars is younger brothers, sibling, courage. Venus, however, is father of your spouse. तो अगर Venus वहाँ बैठा है, it might hurt your relations with your father-in-law.
Father-in-law.
It might hurt their life in the long run.
Oh.
Because Karak बैठा है, it hurts the living thing. On the other hand, अगर Mars बैठ जाए वहाँ, it will give you the courage. But it gives you too much courage, where you could inflict harm on others and harm on yourself.
Oh, okay. So we have a caller waiting. Can we quickly take the call?
Sure.
Hello, you're on air with Dr. Saket Bhatia.
जी नमस्ते साकेत जी.
Namaste, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Can I have your name, please?
Yeah, I'm Priya.
Hi, Priya. How can I help you?
I have a question about my son.
Mm-hmm.
His date of birth is 27th November 2012
Okay.
in Mountain View
Okay.
at 6:34 p.m.
6:34 p.m. Okay.
Yeah. I just wanted to know how basically उसकी आजकल चिड़चिड़ बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ गई है. So I'm not sure is there something wrong with his stars. So I just wanted to know how will be his career, क्योंकि मेनली चिड़चिड़ पढ़ाई को लेके होती है, तो मेरे को थोड़ा कंसर्न हो रहा है अभी से कि उसकी पढ़ाई कैसी रहेगी.
Your son is 11 years old, right?
11 years old.
So
Yes.
I have Vedika here. I think her son is about the same age.
Okay.
Maybe she's not making pasta every day.
The Vedika can answer also.
वहाँ से
ऐसा नहीं
चिड़चिड़ आ
है.
रही है.
I am so चिड़चिड़ आ रही है. You want to understand why is your son getting so annoyed?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. और उससे related question है कि how will be his career in which line?
See, career in the line is very hard for me to say here. I don't want to
Okay.
make a haphazard decision. Astrologer पढ़ के कह सकता है Mars देख रहे ascendant पे, he can go into armed forces, police, he can go into engineering, but it takes time. तो वो थोड़े बात की करते हैं. But let's look at his nature. Let's look at his overall personality, right? So he's a Gemini ascendant. His Mercury is very well placed. Really, very well placed in the 5th house. This is a good placement. जब Mercury, Saturn, Venus और के साथ बैठा हो, it gets a big boost from these conjunctions. Saturn इसके आपके sun के exalted है, so there is no problem there. हाँ, Sun Rahu conjunction in a man in the 6th house normally might also mean politician, might mean serving a political figure. That is a good chart for your son. Chidchida, I don't think that is a problem right now, because इनका मून की दशा चल रही है, वो तो खत्म हो जाएगी इन May 2024. उसके बाद मार्स दशा स्टार्ट होती है. Mars is, you have to be careful about his health in the first half of Mars dasha, because Mars जो है, it's going to act, as the lord of the sixth and then the first lord. The first half is going to be problem, and then he's going to go to school, gains. Look, don't worry. I don't see any problem in this chart. The only thing I do see is Sun Rahu makes a person very confident. Your son will be a confident leader. I think he could go into politics. I know it sounds silly, but he can do politics. He could do police force, and his personality is good. गुस्सा आता है इनको थोड़ा. Other than that, it's absolutely fine. Don't worry. He's too young.
ओके साकेत जो मुझे यही लगा कि इतनी चिड़चिड़ ये एज में, इज इट नॉर्मल और नॉट?
Well, it is fine. Don't worry about the thing. He's okay. You want, you can call us. We can always discuss more offline. But nothing to worry at this time. Okay?
ओके, थैंक यू वेरी मच साकेत जी.
Thank you so much for your call.
वो क्वेश्चन आपके लिए था.
वो मेरे लिए था. Actually, you should have let me take it. आप हमेशा शिकायत करते हो. I'm not answering the questions.
You stopped at that. You don't make pasta every day.
No, actually, with kids, I think phases होते हैं. Like they do get into phases. These are like the growing process with kids.
The difference is I have to look at a chart. You don't.
Exactly.
You are the expert here.
Let's take another caller. Hello, you're on air with Dr. Saket Bhatia.
Hello, doctor.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay. मेरी बेटी के बारे में पूछना है.
Okay.
I think she is about 16 years old. Her date of birth is May 26th,
Okay.
2007.
Okay.
Evening 19:20 p.m. था.
All right.
कैलिफोर्निया में वॉलनट क्रीक पर.
Okay.
I just wanted to पूछना है आपसे कि like कौन सा लाइन उसको अच्छा लगेगा, कौन सा कैरियर चूज करेगी, ऐसा सब.
देखिए, आपकी जो डॉटर है, हर चार्ट इज लिब्रा असेंडेंट. फॉर लिब्रा असेंडेंट रूलिंग प्लैनेट इज वीनस. ओके. द गुड थिंग इज इनका गलिका मंडी 11वें घर में है. गलिका मंडी जिस 11वें घर में, इट डज वेरी वेल. इट ओनली ग्रोज ओवर टाइम. सैटर्न जो है, इट इज अ योगा कारक प्लैनेट. वो चला गया है 10th हाउस में. शी इज गोइंग टू अ वेरी लॉन्ग स्टेबल करियर विच स्टार्ट्स इन 2031. सन मर्क्यूरी इज कंजंक्ट and इनकी degree is very very small in the 7th house. So what does your daughter want to do? Let's start with that. Then we can guide you better.
I think उसको जेनेटिक्स में इंटरेस्टेड है और इंजीनियरिंग में भी इंटरेस्टेड है, बट जेनेटिक्स में उसको बहुत अच्छा लगता है.
So genetics अच्छा लगता है. Then Sun Mercury जब when it comes in the 7th house, it's partnership, and Sun is exalted in Aries. इनकी जो डिग्री है भी 17 है. Mercury means intelligence is what she values. She also is intelligent. She has moon in the 1st house, making her a very sweet, charming, emotional person. लेकिन stress ज़्यादा लेती है life में. My suggestion for her, she wants to do genetics, do it, but do it more with a computer focus. Do it more with a software focus, because that is what the chart says.
Okay.
Okay, sometimes, I'm not an expert on genetics, but जब Mercury इतनी strong हो जाती है chart में, it is pointing towards something to do with the software line. And Saturn in the 10th means, we know for a fact she's going to have a long-term career in one field, which is going to last a while. Navamsh maybe 2nd house mein hai, so she'll make money on that. Okay?
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you, ji.
So listeners, if you're listening to us and you also have a question, 510-770-1550. That's the number for a quick question. Dr. Saket Bhatia से अभी आप on-air question पूछ सकते हैं. And if you would like to connect with him after the show, the number to reach him is 408-639-5300. Once again, 408-639-5300 is the number जहां आप अपॉइंटमेंट लेने के लिए कॉल कर सकते हैं, और या फिर आप उनकी वेबसाइट के थ्रू उनकी सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन ले सकते हैं. वेबसाइट इज saketbhatia.com. और एज आई सेड, अभी क्वेश्चन पूछना है तो 510-770-1550 पे कॉल कीजिए. We have another caller waiting.
Okay.
Hello, you're on air with Dr. Saket Bhatia.
Yes, hi. It's for my son. Birthday is March 4th, 2006 at 1 p.m. in Hayward, California.
1 p.m. in Hayward, California.
Yeah. And I wanted to know about his college. Is he going to be going somewhere close by, or is he going to be a little further away?
When you say close by, explain close. And when do you think he wants to go to college?
Well, he's going to be 18 here, so in this year.
What is it? Does he want to do med or engineering? Which one?
He's into sports kineology, so he wants to do that.
Sports what? I'm sorry?
Sports, basically like training, those kind of things.
Okay. So when we say he's going to move away or he's going to stay close, right? We want to study. Let's say we want to study 4th house, because 4th house is where you stay, right? 9th house is long-term travel, research. So वो देखना है कि which of these houses is strong and which is not. So he has Ketu in the 4th house. He's very comfortable staying here. Ketu typically means your comfort zone. You don't get out of your comfort zone that easily. In the 9th house, we have Sun. Dasha chal rahi hai Mercury, Jupiter ki, followed by Mars, Jupiter, followed by Mars, Saturn. Mars, Jupiter are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 houses away. They typically denote a break. So I believe if your Sun leaves between now and January of next year, he will definitely move away. But if he does between now and Saturn, which is any time after January 2025, he's going to move far away. Does that answer your question?
Somewhat. So between now and till the end of the year, it's going to start in like June.
Yeah. Between now and the end of the year, if he moves, it should be close. But anytime after January of 2025, I believe the move will be relatively far, because Saturn kicks in. And that is definitely, the 9th house, which is long-term travel. Okay?
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah. So, coming back to the Karak stuff.
जी.
हम कह रहे थे कि Sun Karak है, Jupiter Karak. We don't want to go over that process again, right? Like Moon is the Karak for mother, for the 4th house. Jupiter बच्चों का है. तो हम example दे रहे थे. I already gave you an example. If Sun is the Lord, ये Aries chart है. So Sun is Lord of 5th, and if he's very strong in the 1st, you will be overconfident. And same with Jupiter. Jupiter is the dispositor of children, gains, wealth. तो जहाँ बैठेगा वहाँ बढ़ाएगा. But at the same time, Karak Bhava Nash जो है, it will destroy the significations of the living thing in that house. लेकिन इतना याद रखना, there are 3 exceptions to this rule for Karak Bhava Nash. 3 exceptions. First exception, Saturn in the 8th house.
Okay.
Saturn आपको long life देता है.
अब तो 8th is उसका अपना घर.
8th अपना घर नहीं होता, कारक है ये.
अच्छा, okay.
घर कहीं भी हो सकता है. He owns 2 houses, right? But if Saturn is placed in the 8th house, it generally gives you a long life.
Longer life.
This is an exception because Saturn 8th का कारक है.
Okay.
Second exception is Moon in the 4th house. Mother. Moon sitting in the 4th house does not mean your mother is going to have a short life. It means your mother is going to love you more than she should. ये pamper कर देते हैं बच्चों को.
जी.
So this is considered an exception because it's a good thing.
And what's the third one?
Third is Ketu in the 12th. This does not apply to our charts. I'm rudely saying our charts, but I consider Ketu in the 12th to be an exception for highly advanced souls that have reached the level where they don't have to come back on earth. जब मोक्ष देखते हैं हम, we have to study an exalted Ketu in the 12th house with extremely positive aspects on it. Just telling somebody आपका केतु 12वें घर में, which is 1 out of every 2 hours केतु 12वें घर में आता है किसी ना किसी का, right? You can't say कि आपको मोक्ष मिल जाएगा. The population is constantly increasing. So this is again applicable for highly advanced, developed spiritual souls. ये 3 exception होते हैं कारक भावा नाश के. These are considered good. So the advice for those who practice astrology is take this very seriously. जब कारक अपने घर में बैठेगा कुछ ना कुछ तो लिविंग पर्सन को इफेक्ट करेगा इन अ पॉजिटिव और अ नेगेटिव वे. बट इसके रूल अलग भी हो सकते हैं. अगर कारक अपने ही घर को एस्पेक्ट कर रहा हो फॉर विच ही इज कारक, इट मेक्स इट स्ट्रॉन्गर. सो इफ सन इज इन द 6th 7th हाउस, ही इज टिपिकली कारक ऑफ द 1st. बट अगर वो फर्स्ट सेवंथ हाउस से फर्स्ट को देख रहा है, ही विल मेक द फर्स्ट हाउस स्ट्रॉन्गर. योर बॉडी स्ट्रक्चर विल बी बेटर, you'll have better confidence, not overconfidence, strong teeth, strong bones.
Okay.
That way. Mercury, I said, is Karak of speech,
Yeah. Second house.
second house. But if he sits in second, he could give you stuttering. But if he sits in the eighth house
And
and
looking
looks
at
at that,
second.
becomes better. You'll be a better speaker. So these are simple aspects you must understand. अगर moon आपका fourth में बैठे अच्छा है, अगर 10th में बैठे तो भी अच्छा है क्योंकि वो अपने घर को देख रहा है.
Right.
जुपिटर 5वें में बैठे 11वें घर को देख रहा है, हाउस ऑफ गेन्स. Right? So
Right.
these are certain rules you must understand and apply. Don't jump haphazardly into saying ki, this is a bad thing. Another thing is the Karak, if it is conjunct, means joins the lord of the house for which he is Karak. Confusing.
Yeah.
एस्ट्रोलॉजी में 12 घर होते हैं.
जी.
अगर कारक जो है 5th हाउस का जुपिटर कारक है और वो 5th हाउस का जो लॉर्ड है, इफ दे जॉइन टुगेदर, युति होती है, इट इम्प्रूव्स दैट पर्टिकुलर हाउस इवन इफ ही इज नॉट एस्पेक्टिंग दैट हाउस.
Okay.
Okay,
Makes sense.
this is important. So assume for a Scorpio ascendant, moon is the 9th house lord.
Okay.
9th is guru, father, but and उसका कारक जुपिटर होता है which represents guru. अगर 9th lord जुपिटर के साथ जुड़ गया, he is going to make you a spiritual guru in your life.
Oh.
ऐसी चीजें होती हैं. These are
Interpretation.
Interpretation is important. Don't make haphazard and hasty decisions in saying कारक आ गया खत्म हो जाएगा. ना. We're going to talk about some examples of people.
Can we quickly take? We have 2 callers waiting.
Sure.
Hello, you're on air with Dr. Saket Bhatia.
I have a question regarding my husband.
Okay.
He's looking for a job, so can you tell me, when will he get one?
We can try. If you can tell me your husband's date of birth, time of birth, place of birth, we'll definitely try.
Okay, his date of birth is December 9, 1977.
Okay.
Time is 5 in the evening, 5 p.m. And place is Ghaziabad, Uttar Pradesh, India.
Give me 1 second.
Sure.
Okay. So what is going on here?
So he's looking for a job.
Does he have a job? He doesn't have a job.
He doesn't have one, yeah.
He doesn't have a job. So
Yeah.
December 9, 1977, 5 p.m. Ghaziabad, Uttar Pradesh, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so when we study job, first of all, why is he doing a job? I don't understand. This is a kundali in which he could be starting something of his own.
Okay.
देखिए, in his kundali, sun and moon are sitting in the 7th house. Yes, moon is debilitated, but the moon is not necessarily debilitated. ये strong है. जब sun aspect करता है first house को और Venus वहाँ बैठी हो, and Venus is the lord of the first, we always tell people, go try starting a business with your partner. This is beneficial for you.
Okay.
You may want to reconsider. But to answer your question, Saturn is right now on Saturn's house. तो शनि अपने घर के ऊपर बैठा है. जब planet अपने घर पे बैठता है 10th house में, he is going to promote the matters of that house. शनि neutral dignity में है. What is शनि? Planet of suffering, planet that is going to give. Plus इस कुंडली में Saturn चौथे घर में बैठा है. He is aspecting the house. Jupiter 7, 8, 9, 10. Jupiter is at this point of time not throwing any positive aspect. But I personally believe if your husband can wait another 6, 7 months, he should get a job. There is nothing that will stop him. Looking at his kundali again, Venus, Mars hai. Mars, is chart mein, Mars is again a planet of business, partnership. So he is directly aspecting that particular house. You really may want to rethink what your husband is doing.
Okay.
Please
So
rethink.
you... Okay.
Rethink.
Okay,
This
so-
is... You can
Okay.
always come
Regarding
to,
the business.
you can always come to us. We can help guide you if that's what you want. One thing to
Okay.
note in your husband's chart is Venus, which is you, has a very directional strength kam hoti hai. Venus is always very strong in one house, but is kundali mein Venus is 0.66 strength, so Venus needs a boost. That's all we say. Probably you should be the one convincing your husband that, hey, start a business. Call us if you need help. But otherwise,
Okay.
give it another few months, 5-6 months, में job लग जाएगी. But that's not the chart. That's not the course you should take in life. Okay?
Okay. Thank you so much.
So, listeners, let me remind you, we have around 17 more minutes in this show, and you're listening to the Saket Bhatia Astrology Show. If you want to connect with Dr. Saket Bhatia for any astrological need or numerological need, do call him directly 408-639-5300. 408-639-5300 is the number. You can directly call and schedule an appointment with Dr. Saket Bhatia. और आप उनकी वेबसाइट के थ्रू उन्हें कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं saketbhatia.com. You will get plenty of information there. या फिर info@saketbhatia.com पे email कर सकते हैं. If you have any quick question, as I said, we just have 17 more minutes. You can call us. Studio lines are open. 510-770-1550 is the number. We have one more caller waiting.
Yeah, for the previous caller, there's one thing I overlooked. On his 10th house, he had the aspect of Saturn and Mars conjunct at that time with the transit Saturn. Job loss was bad starting in April of 2023. But June 2024, July is actually Venus Rahu, which is house of gains. So like I said, 6 mahine mein he should get a job. Good time is starting for him. Yeah.
I hope she's listening.
Sorry about this other caller. Let's take it.
Yeah, let's take another call. Hello, you're on air with Dr. Saket Bhatia. Thank you for holding.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yes. The date of birth of my son is 30th December 2005. Time of birth 5:08 p.m. He's just wanted to know whether what kind of line he should take. Can he go for engineering or he can go for business or any other line?
December
But he's
30th.
very much interested.
December 30th, 2005 at 5:08 a.m. or p.m.
PM.
PM. अच्छा. And place
Yes,
नहीं
sir.
बताई आपने.
Fremont, California.
Everybody we're getting called today is from Fremont, Hayward. हमको इंडिया से कोई ज़्यादा कॉल नहीं आ रहे आज. Okay. Hayward. So you were saying he's interested in what?
He is interested in business.
तो करने दो business. Why should you stop him?
Okay. Okay. Will it be good for his future?
See, he has Sun, Mercury, Moon in the 7th house. This should be somebody who should be doing business. इस कुंडली में I don't see any debilitated planets. अब दशा चल रही है Venus केतु की, which is in this कुंडली Venus केतु. I would not say it's good but not very good, because केतु तो खैर घर का है. He can start his own business. He should start his own business. But what does he want to do besides? Dekho, once facts. This is the chart of somebody who can do engineering. Absolutely, it can. But it's also the chart of somebody who should do a business. So why doesn't he do engineering and start his own business? Sun ki dasha aa rahi hai. Sun dasha starts in 5 months, and that dasha is going to go on till 2030. Okay. Uske baad Moon dasha aati hai, which is going to get him married. Then Mars dasha aati hai, which is going to get lots of gains for him. Fir Rahu aata hai, which is going to expand his career. I'm telling you, this chart, this is a good chart. Only problem is that eclipse that we see in the 7th house can lead to problems in marital life, can lead to problems of cheating with partners. But otherwise, let him do engineering and let him start his business. It's good.
He's not interested in engineering. He wants to join business only.
No problem.
He wants to study business.
Even if he studies business, tell him he can start something related to an engineering field, a software field. Business means he's got to do something, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so he can always do that. Another thing he could go into is buying land, because that is very strong in his chart.
Okay.
But that is
And one
retrograde,
more
so it will
thing.
take time.
And one more thing, he is a little bit stubborn, and he gets irritated for small things.
He has a retrograde Saturn in the 2nd house. He has a direct aspect of Mars on his Saturn. Mars is anger, aggression. Saturn is, I wouldn't use the word depression, but stubborn. That 2nd is wealth and values. So wo to lifetime rahega. You can't avoid that.
Okay.
But what you can do is you can improve his other planets, improve his Mercury for business, because Mercury 0 degrees pe baitha hai. To benefit, he needs to do something. We can talk about that more. Okay?
Okay, right. Thank you, sir. Thank
No
you
problem.
so much.
We have one more caller waiting. Hello, you're on air with Dr. Saket Bhatia.
या हेलो,
Hi.
मेरी भाभी के बारे में पूछना है.
हमें बहुत कम कॉल आते हैं जो अपने भाभी के बारे में पूछते हैं. I guess this is a good thing.
या उसकी जन्म हुआ तमिलनाडु में त्रिची में.
Give me 1 second. Tamil Nadu, Trichy. Okay.
I think 3rd July 76.
3rd July 1976. Okay.
1976 or I think 2:15 a.m. That's what my brother told me. Yeah, 2:15 a.m.
July 3rd, 1976, 2:15 a.m.
Correct, 2:15 a.m. ट्रिची में.
Okay. And question क्या है आपका?
तो भैया से अभी अलग है. आज इस साल या नेक्स्ट साल आ जाएगी, वो कुंडली से पता चल जाएगा.
So you want to know when she'll move here?
Yeah, when she will move here.
So she has काल सर्पयोग. ये तो आपको पता है. काल
Oh.
सर्पयोग जो होता है, it causes lots of unpredictable events in life. काल सर्पयोग means all the planets are based on one side of the chart as opposed to the other. Okay. अगर आप पूछ रहे हो when will she come, काल सर्पयोग will make it difficult. Jupiter is the planet that rules 12th house, which is house of losing residence. Saturn जो शनि है वो उनके 4th house में बैठा है, meaning it makes it difficult for her to move overseas, क्योंकि वहाँ जम के बैठ जाता है. Saturn जहाँ बैठता है बोलता है this is the law. शनि जहाँ बैठता है it says this is the law, obey my law. So it's going to be hard for her to break the Saturn thing. I think a good time for her to leave would happen anytime after November 2024 to May 2027 is one good time for her to move. If she does not move between that time, then I think it's going to be hard for her to come here.
ठीक है. इसके लिए कुछ कर सकते हैं हम लोग एस्ट्रोलॉजी के बगैर?
एस्ट्रोलॉजी के बगैर तो मुझे पता नहीं हम क्या कर सकते हैं. एस्ट्रोलॉजी में कर सकते हैं, आप हमें फोन कीजिए, वी कैन टॉक. बिकॉज देखिए क्या होता है, द रीजन आई से कॉल अस इज बिकॉज यू आर गेटिंग वन आंसर हियर एंड दिस आंसर इज लाइक 1 मिनट ना. आफ्टर दिस वेदिका अगेन से there's yet another caller waiting. तो क्या होता है, वी वांट टू ट्राई हेल्पिंग एज मेनी पीपल, बट इफ यू वांट डिटेल्ड आंसर्स कॉल अस. आपकी सिस्टर इन लॉ की कुंडली में नवंश में विच इज द D9 चार्ट, वहां भी सैटर्न बैठा है इन द 12th हाउस. एंड सैटर्न मीन्स मैं वहां बैठ गया तो देयर इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी फॉर हर टू लीव. इट्स द टाइमिंग दैट मैटर्स. जुपिटर सैटर्न दशा में निकल जाएगी, बेटर रहेगा. सैटर्न थोड़ा वीक है इनका, और इस कुंडली में सैटर्न इज कंसिडर्ड टू बी नॉट सो गुड अ प्लैनेट. बट कॉल, वी कैन ऑलवेज टॉक, विल एक्सप्लेन यू मोर इन डिटेल हाउ दैट वर्क्स. ओके,
ठीक है, थैंक यू.
Thank you for your call. You can connect with Dr. Saket Bhatia directly by dialing 408-639-5300. So as we were about to discuss some examples.
हम एग्जाम्पल डिस्कस करते हैं of कारक भावा नाश, राइट?
जी.
So let's talk about sun. हमने कहा था कि sun is considered the symbol of the father, right? And sun is Karak at which house? The 1st house and 9th house.
जी.
1st house में it impacts you. 9th house में it impacts your father. Now remember, astrology में, if a planet like Mars sits in the 9th house, something is going to happen to your father. Something aggressive, some accident, some injury, some hurt. Mars is going to do that. It's an exception to the rule. Now, let's study some charts of famous people, right? Let's talk about Mamta Banerjee for that example. She has sun in her 9th house. That means father को impact पड़ेगा, but she also has Rahu sitting there.
Okay.
Okay, she also has Mercury, which is the lord of disease. The lord of disease, Rahu, which is expansion or loss, bad planet, sitting with sun जो कारक है 9th house में, it caused loss of her father at age 17.
Okay.
This is how strong Karak Bhava Nash can be. Mother Teresa also has sun, and she has Mars. Mars in this kundli is the 12th lord, which is the house of losing things. Since sun is with the house of planet of losing things, she lost her father when she was very young. She lost her father when she was 7. I'll give you another example of opposite of Karak Bhava Nash. Sun in the 7th house sitting with Mercury, where Mercury is the planet of destruction in the chart of Aurangzeb. But sun in this case is debilitated, बहुत weak है. मैंने आपको अभी कहा If Karak sits in its own house and is strong, he will hurt the child or father.
Yeah.
But अगर debilitated है, then father and son में enmity हो जाती है.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because he's not able to produce the bad effects, so he'll produce negative effects.
Negative effect.
So Aurangzeb and his father, they did not get along at all. And this is exactly valid in this chart because sun is debilitated. Mercury, destruction का planet, वहाँ बैठ गया है. Right? And we know what the history is.
Yes.
Now let's talk about some other charts. Let's talk about moon. Moon in the 4th house. हमने कहा ये exception है because mother loves their kids too much. But if you look at the chart of Adolf Hitler, right? Moon 4th house में है. That's a good placement. Jupiter साथ में बैठा है, which is actually Guru, which is a planet of expansion. लेकिन गलती से केतु भी बैठ गया वहाँ. I've always told in all my shows, लोग राहु से डरते हैं. You should get more worried of Ketu because Ketu is by far the worst planet in terms of negative properties. Remember, Rahu can block the moon. Ketu can block the sun. And any planet which can block the sun can block your soul. So जब केतु बैठता है, right? और इस कुंडली में जब केतु बैठा, it completely destroyed the mother. He lost his mother at a young age. Vladimir Putin, we're studying Mars. He has Mars in the 3rd house, which is the house of younger siblings. हमने कहा, this is not an exception. He lost both his younger siblings when they were young.
Oh.
Right? We can talk about Jawaharlal Nehru also, who had Mars in the 3rd house. Regarding his siblings, he had 2 sisters, both younger than him. Relations, not so good. So, it hurts in negative ways. I have many, many more examples. For example, Sonia Gandhi, who has Venus in the 4th.
Okay.
Venus in the 4th is again not considered a good thing because Venus husband भी होता है 7th में और 4th में भी हम देख सकते हैं. She caused loss of mother, loss of motherland, loss of comfort, everything in her house, and she had to leave overseas because it destroyed her relations with her foreign land जहाँ रहती थी. So Venus in the 4th was also there for Abdul Kalam.
Okay.
So it destroyed some of his house. You know, he will basically left a single life, right?
Yeah.
Respectable man. And then someone I met personally recently, Baba Ramdev.
Okay.
Okay, I met him and उनका भी जो chart पढ़ा हमने, he has Venus in the 7th house.
Okay.
Venus कारक है 7th house का. No marriage. But it's not just no marriage. अगर हम साथ में देखें, he also has a conjunction of moon and Mars. And in this kundli, Mars is the ascendant lord. But moon जो है, moon is the ascendant lord, but Mars jo hai, he happens to be the 10th lord. Mars is aggression. Moon is also considered one of those planets. And Paap ka triyog baithta hai. So sun on one side, Saturn on the other, with Venus in between. Inki shaadi nahi hai, nahi hogi. We don't need to explain that.
जी.
Right? So, ये जो concept है, they're very important. They must be taken very carefully. कारक भवा नाश के ऊपर इतने सारे texts हैं. But one thing that is very important is astrology mein, this is not one of those concepts which is written in the original notes.
Okay.
जब
Then where did it come from?
It came from astrologers over thousands of years.
Okay.
Thousands of years. So जैसे experience बढ़ता है, because interpretation बढ़ती है.
जी.
We keep adding more notes, we keep taking more reference, right? That's how it comes. But one thing I must say is, हमने कहा था कि अगर कारक की युति होती है with the house lord, या कारक conjunction, या कारक अपने जिस घर का कारक है उसको देख रहा है, he will produce, he will improve that house. Remember?
Yeah.
You also must study the Navam's chart. Just looking at the chart and saying आपका sun 9,000 में बैठ गया, father के साथ problem है, is not enough. Go to the D9 chart. वहाँ sun की placement देखिए, वहाँ 9th house की placement देखिए. अगर sun वहाँ debilitated है या 9th house damaged है, then we know yes, definitely something or the other is going to happen. Early predictions are never good. They cause problems. Retrograde, that brings me back to this whole topic of chasing things, right? अगर आपका Saturn retrograde है and Saturn is lord of your 4th house, आप कुछ भी कर लो, आपका घर जल्दी नहीं आ सकता लाइफ में. You will take money, you will go to the realtor, you will go to the bank and say, I want mortgage, and you will walk out saying, is this the right thing for me? It's not written for you. ये retrograde planet है. Don't fight it. It's not going to help you.
So then settling for what you have in life.
No, appreciating what you have in life.
Appreciating.
Accepting things the way they are. And obviously improving things so you feel better, you feel more content. 12 ghar hain. Why are we focusing only on one? Why have we not focused? Aaj itne calls aaye the. No, people, one individual asked about health. But that's it. Nobody asked about health. Everybody asked about career, marriage. Ye 2 ghar hain. What about kids? What about family? What about happiness? What about fulfillment, satisfaction, luck? People are not asking those questions because
right ones.
we are taking it for granted, unfortunately.
वो लग रहा है उसमें क्या पूछना है? What is there to ask? We are not excited or that looking forward about these things, right?
ये राहु केतु यही है. Rahu is misinterpreted as expansion. Ketu as contraction. That's not true. Rahu is illusion.
Yeah.
So हम जैसे यहाँ रेडियो स्टूडियो में बैठे हैं, right? Assume we spend 5 years here. We get comfortable here. It's our comfort zone. That is Ketu. The minute we open the door and we see the world outside, that is Rahu. ये क्या है? हमें जाना है. So in terms of reincarnation, Rahu is your unfulfilled desire. And Ketu is where you were already comfortable in your past life. Study that. Understand that. And that's what astrology is.
With all this description, I definitely think of that concept which you gave, कि जैसे गीता का जो interpretation है, so nobody has actually touched the surface yet. Everybody is trying to understand. I think astrology is something similar to that.
We are scratching the surface. We are
Absolutely.
humans. We are not
Absolutely.
God. We are not even messengers. We're just people with knowledge who are trying to impart and help you get by your life with more satisfaction and better growth. ये हमारा job है.
Rightly said. And with that, we are out of time, and apologies to all the callers who are trying to call us right now. We can definitely connect next Tuesday. आप call कीजिए show में 4 to 5 p.m. is the show time of the Saket Bhatia Astrology Show. आपको ट्यूसडे तक रुकने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. आप वीक के बीच में कभी भी बात कर सकते हैं. अपॉइंटमेंट ले सकते हैं 408-639-5300 पे कॉल करके. कनेक्ट कीजिए वेबसाइट के थ्रू saketbhatia.com. And next Tuesday, don't forget to tune in. With that, thank you so much for joining us on air. We will see you next week.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Vedika. Goodbye.
You are listening to Radio Zindagi, KZDG 1550 AM, San Francisco and the entire Bay Area.